So how do I make money as an author outside of books? Let's break down my streams of revenue. So you guys know I'm a multi-time best-selling author. I have a boatload of books out at this point, and I make a lot of money from the author industry in my author life. Now, you guys also know I run multiple businesses, so I have streams of income from those as well. But today we're going to break down what I do inside of the author community, inside of the publishing world, to make money as an author. So if you've got questions on streams of revenue as an author, now is a great time to go ahead and drop those. We're going to jump into today's conversation. If I can get my slides up, here we go. Beautiful. Let's talk about streams of revenue as an author. So, when it comes to creating money inside of the author world, the first thing, and the thing we're not going to talk about that much, is selling books. So, just obviously our first way of making income is books, and those are physical books, those are ebooks, those are audiobooks. That's a really easy way for us to be making income inside of this industry. When we write our books, we publish our books, and people buy the books, we get royalties off of those. Easy way to make money, obviously the first way inside of the author world to be creating money inside of what we're doing. Now, another big one for most authors is swag. So when we've created a story, when we've created a world that people love, we can then also sell swag. That can result in things like book boxes. It could be candles. It could be like fancy artwork for walls, or even like apparel. There's a bunch of things that you can do in the world of swag to make money. And yes, we do have swag that we just like give away at events and things, but those are usually the cheaper things. They're like the paper products, bookmarks, postcards, things like that. The higher end swag is where we're actually making money. And those are things we can sell through our website and through our stores and things like that. So it's not just at events. So swag is definitely going to be a really good one. You guys know I sell book jewelry. I sell apparel. I sell like bookish apparel, not even just with things inside of my book worlds, but like bookish things as well. So swag is definitely a good one because fans love swag. They love to put it on their bookshelves. They love to use it in their videos and all of that great stuff. So swag is definitely a great stream of revenue for us. And if you're just jumping in, we're talking about how I make money as an author and how other authors make money as an author too, aside from just selling books. Now, another way that I make money inside of my author world is actually going to be through speaking gigs. So because I'm an educator, because I speak on these things, because I've done really well in the industry, I frequently get tapped in to do speaking gigs, and a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are paid speaking gigs. So if I'm speaking at a bigger convention or an event, or if I'm teaching or educating in some way, I'm potentially being paid for some of that. Again, not all of it, but you can definitely make money off of those speaking gigs. You can get your travel covered, and then, depending on where you're at in your career, if you are a higher level speaker, you're going to get paid for it. Sometimes if you're like beginning level of speaking, they'll pay for like your travel and your hotel, and you do the gig for free. So you get some things covered, but not all things. So there's options within that as well. So speaking gigs are definitely great, but you have to have a specific platform for that, because if you don't, you don't have anything to offer. So you have to have something to offer, a method to teach, some way of educating people in order to be a part of that. Which brings me to my next stream of revenue, educational content. So you guys know I am a teacher. I teach courses. I teach on social media. I monetize my social media educational content. There's a lot of things I do in the realm of educating. So if you're an author and you've been in the industry for a while, this does not apply to newbies. So you have to have experience and results and tested results, not only with you, but with other people you're advising as well. You can then educate on these different things. So how to write a book, or how to market a book, or I teach social media to people. I teach book photography to people. Like, there's a lot of different ways that you can be creating those educational content pieces through webinars and courses, and again, things on stage, and through your work on social media that you can monetize. And there's a lot of different ways that you can be creating educational content, even in the form of like PDFs or books. You can do nonfiction books that are educating people in the publishing world on how to publish and how to succeed inside of this realm. So educational content is going to be another really big source of income for authors as they're building out what they're doing and bringing in those multiple revenue streams. If you've got questions on any of these, we got a couple more to go, but I want to get your questions answered. So if at any point questions come up, if you're on my replay, go ahead and drop them in the comments, and I will be getting those answered for you as well. So outside of educational content, another thing that you can be doing as an author or as a writer is writing. And I don't mean in book form. I mean more for articles for websites and magazines. So you guys know that I have been published in a lot of different places, and I write for a lot of different websites and different publications, and I get paid for most of, again, not all of, but most of those I do get paid for. In my early days, I did it for the credentials. I did it to be able to say, oh, look, I've been featured over here, and I've done this, that, and the other thing. But as I grew, I was then able to monetize that. So now I typically don't write for free. I'll do like interviews, but that's very different than this type of writing. And I don't do it for free anymore. I definitely charge for it. And I am at the point where I can say no to people who don't want to pay me enough. So I have a specific rate that I have as my baseline, and it goes up from there. And if it's below that, unless it's something I really, really, really want to do, I do not take those on because it's not worth my time. So for me, I am very aware of how much my time is worth. So as I'm taking on things like writing positions, I am doing so with the knowledge of how much money should I be making per hour on this. If it doesn't meet those standards, it's not going to be something that I am going to take on. I'm getting so many notifications right now on social. If you have questions on this, I would love to get those answered. Go ahead and drop them for me down below. Another thing that I do inside of my author life is sponsored content. Now, sponsored content is really good because once you've built a platform, and you do have to have a platform for this, you can then have people pay you to advertise for them. So you can do this on your social platforms. I've actually had social platforms come to me and have me create content. So you guys know TikTok and Zin and a bunch of other platforms paid me to create content on their platforms. I have been paid by authors and programs and products and companies and businesses to market their services or their products to my following. And I have to be very particular about that. I have to be very picky about the ones I take on because I'm not just like mass marketing things to my audience. It has to be stuff that's going to resonate with my audience. So I'm very particular about that. I take one out of every 50, 60, 70, 100 people that come to me. I get a lot of requests for this, and I'm very, very particular about what I will and will not take because I don't want to hurt that relationship with my audience. If it's not going to benefit them in some way, if it's not going to be something that I know that they want to hear about, I don't have that conversation with them. So as I'm taking on sponsored content, I'm being very specific to the audience that I'm bringing it to. And because we're talking about the context of the author world today, it is stuff that readers are going to respond to. So my following is readers and aspiring authors, and I am looking for things that will resonate with them. So I'm not going to go talking about once upon a time at Christmas time, I had somebody reach out and want me to promote their remote control helicopter. That had nothing to do with my audience, even though my audience fit their statistics. And so I turned that down. That wasn't a good fit for me. But I do market on behalf of other authors or things that are going to go well with the bookish community, like clothing. We're very fashion friendly in the book community. So I'm aware of what my audience will and will not like. So I take on sponsored content, and then I post videos and photos and all of those things on whatever social platform they hire me to post it on. And I can also create content for them of me to use on their platforms as well because my face is now recognizable. So I can actually take content, make it for them and not post it in mine, have them post it on theirs. And because people recognize me, that also has the ability to do really, really well. I bet you could make that helicopter relevant. I could, I just chose not to. Oh, ways to attach a camera and use the helicopter for cool aerial views. Yeah. And that would have worked really, really well for more of my social media side of things. They actually had drones with that particular company. I was going to negotiate, but I just had so much going on at that point, so I kind of let it go. But definitely one to work on. Aside from sponsored content, we do have things like affiliate content, which is really, really cool. So if you are an affiliate for something, that means you are marketing on behalf of somebody else and making a kickback. So for example, I work with a lot of companies where I will advertise their product because it's something I use in my daily life. It's something that I represent for my students or my following. And I'm going to use the example of LIVESTREAM platforms, which I don't really market in the author world as much, but I do in the social media education world. And so I work with a lot of the LIVESTREAM platforms, and I'm an affiliate for a lot of them. And they all have paid for sponsored content too, but I do affiliate work. So when I mention them, when I talk about them, just in the context of the other tutorials I'm doing, I put an affiliate link down below, and when somebody buys through my link, I get a kickback of that. You can do this with things like Amazon. So you guys know when I'm doing videos, if I bought an outfit from Amazon, or if I have a gadget from Amazon or a piece of technology from Amazon, and I'm showing you how to use it in an author capacity or a bookish capacity, I can put that link there, and if people buy through that link, I get a kickback of it. I'm not being paid to create that content. I am getting a kickback of what I'm selling on their behalf. So for me, affiliate content is really, really nice because it's very passive content for me to be doing, or a passive income for me to be earning. I put them in all of my YouTube videos, so when people are looking, like, they can see what camera I'm using. I'm not talking about the camera, but they can see what camera is being used. They have the ability to see any links that I put into my caption, and I frequently make sales from those, even if I wasn't talking about those products and services. So affiliate links, very, very helpful. But pro tip on this one, you don't make very much money from affiliate links for books. So if all you're doing is like affiliate linking books that you're talking about, you'll make a couple of pennies, but you're not going to make a ton of money. So there's like better things. I don't know why Amazon's so like down on the affiliate income from books, and it's different between ebooks and it's different between physical books. Like, there's a lot that goes into it, but you can do this for clothing companies, and you can do it for Amazon, you can do it for Target, you can do it for Walmart, you can do it for specific companies or products or services. So that's also a really nice way to make that passive income as you are building out what you're doing in your author life as well. Aside from that, there's a couple more I want to be talking about, and this is another really big one. This is very popular with people because we like to be very insular inside of the author community. We make money off of each other. It's a thing. Working for other authors is going to be very, very helpful. For me, I professionally make covers. I can do formatting. I do developmental edits for people. I've been paid for all of these things before. And so I will make money off of helping them in that capacity. And that's a service-based thing or a product-based thing where I can then make money and help them to grow what they're doing as well. But people take it as far as doing like virtual assistant work and posting on their behalf and creating content or creating graphics. Like, there's a lot that you can be doing within this realm of working for other authors, and a lot of people find that they're making more money by marketing to other authors these services and these products than they are by the money they're bringing in from their own books. Again, it's going to be different for each person, and how often you are doing these things as well, but working for people inside of the industry, it makes money. There are so many people who want to be in this industry and who are going to be paying for coverage and formatting and editing and all of these things. And if you have these skills and talents and the professional capacity to do it, you can make a lot of money off of these things just because so many thousands of people are trying to enter this industry on a daily basis. So you have a lot of competition when it comes to selling those books, less competition when it comes to selling to other authors who are getting into the industry and then becoming more competition for your books. So working for other authors is a great way to make those money. That money. Oh my goodness, English today. I know affiliate links are great. They're really good for earning that passive income, and you can directly market those, or you have the ability to passively market those by putting them in captions, putting them in like a set of links. I would say Linktree, but we don't use that anymore because that's actually not good in the industry. There's a whole logic behind that. But it's really, really great for making that passive income as well. Now, the last one I want to talk to you about today is one that is a little bit dicey in conversation with people, and that is ghostwriting. So as an author, you have the ability to do ghostwriting. And I have done this in the capacity of writing for like websites and different companies. I have not done writing a book for another author and having their name on it, but I don't do it frequently, but I sometimes do it for people who are starting blogs or people who are starting websites who are not skilled at writing, who are not professional authors, and they need content or they need help with content, or they want to just have a bulk of like content they can be putting out while they're creating their own content. And then I will write the articles for them, or I'll write the website script for them, and they then have the ability to kind of tweak it and change whatever they need and use it in the capacity of them having written that content or created that content for their people. So there's a lot of different ways that you can be making money inside of the book world, and that does include writing books for other people, which you can hear a lot about on TikTok. There's a lot of people that talk about that, and that's a whole other conversation. If you want to have that at some point, I am happy to have that conversation with you. But there's tons and tons of ways that you can be making money outside of just writing and selling books, because for a lot of people, a lot of people, you're going to be making more money in the industry in other capacities rather than just selling your own books. In fact, I do really, really well selling my sponsored content. I do really, really well with affiliate content. I do really, really well with, things outside of the book realm. I was trying to think what was the other one I was going to mention. Writing for, websites and magazines and things like that. I do really well with speaking gigs. I do really well selling swag. There's a lot of competition for books, and so your sales are going to be lower because now there's millions and millions of books that people can choose from. But if people find you and like you, then you can do swag, sell that to them. You can make big money off of that. You can do speaking gigs. You can do content for websites and magazines, or you can create book covers and formatting and all of these things for people on the inside, on the internal side of the publishing industry. So I make a lot of money inside of the author world, both from my books and outside of my books. And to limit yourself to just making money in this industry off of your book sales is very, very limiting to what you are doing, and it's going to stunt your growth. So when you have these multiple streams of revenue, even if your book sales are down for a month, even if some new big trendy thing comes out and it's not you, baby, you can still be making money inside of this industry and thriving and having that baseline income so that you don't have to stress and worry about what you're doing inside of your author life, because we know that book sales go up and down a lot, especially when you're popular on social, especially when someone else becomes popular on social. So if you've got questions on multiple streams of revenue, go ahead and let me know. We can do more content on this, like how you manage it and how you kind of set these things up. If you have questions, I'm happy to do the business side of things. I don't know what you guys want to see too much of, but let me know if you want to see business side of things. I'm happy to do more of that here, because I want to make sure you're prepared if you're jumping into the world of publishing as well. And I love talking about money and my streams of revenue and like all of these analytically things. So if you've got questions, now's a great time to drop them. Leave those in the comments below, and we'll get to them in an upcoming episode. Thank you all so much for joining me. We're here every single Tuesday. Wrong show. We're here every single Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern answering your questions on a specific bookish topic, and then every single Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern on TikTok with an open Q&A, Book World, Ask Me Anything, and frequently on my YouTube page as well. And of course, I have the social media education for you outside of this platform where you can learn to grow and market and all the things that you will need if you were jumping into the publishing world as well. I will see you all again next week for our weekly hangout session here on Instagram, and make sure you pay attention because I've been dropping a whole bunch of TikToks and Reels and posts and like all sorts of great things over the last couple days, and a lot more to come over the next few days. You do not want to miss out on these behind the scenes and these really helpful tutorials. So thank you all for joining me. I'll see you next week. Until then, stay inspired.